Why does pain sometimes feel comfortable? Yeah, I know how that sounds. Pain and comfort in the same sentence feels illegal, like putting gym and fun together, or Monday and happiness. But think about it for a second. Why do people stay in toxic relationships? Why do we rewatch sad movies when we're already sad? Why do we scroll through old chats at 2 a.m., knowing it will ruin our mood? And the biggest question of all, why does familiar pain feel safer than unknown peace? That's what we're talking about today. Let me start with something simple. Imagine you're wearing an old pair of shoes. They're torn. They hurt your feet. There's even a hole near the toe that lets water in, but you still keep wearing them. Why? Because they're your shoes. You know exactly where they hurt, and over time you've learned how to walk around the pain. Now imagine buying new shoes. They might be better, sure, but what if they hurt more? What if they don't fit? What if you regret buying them? So you stay with the painful ones. Congratulations. You've just understood why pain can feel like comfort. Our brain is obsessed with familiarity, not happiness, not peace, not growth. Familiarity. Your brain doesn't care if something hurts, it only cares if it's predictable. Pain you know feels safer than happiness you don't understand. That's why people say things like, "At least I know what to expect," or "This is just how life is," or "I'm used to it." "I'm used to it" might be one of the most dangerous sentences ever created. Let's talk about relationships for a moment. Some people stay with someone who ignores them, disrespects them, or barely tries. And when you ask, "Why are you still with them?" the answer is often, "Well, it's complicated." No, it's not complicated. It's familiar. They know the silence, they know the fights, they know the disappointment. A healthy relationship, on the other hand, feels scary. What if it ends? What if they mess it up? What if they don't deserve it? So the brain says, "Stay where you are, it hurts, but at least it's known." And slowly, pain starts to feel like home. Here's another example. Ever notice how some people complain about their job every single day but never leave? "My boss is terrible. I hate Mondays. I feel stuck." And yet, year after year, it's the same desk, the same chair, the same complaints. Why? Because quitting means uncertainty, new people, new rules, new pressure. And the brain hates uncertainty more than pain. Pain is loud, but uncertainty is terrifying. Now think about habits. Why do people keep procrastinating even though it stresses them out? Because they know that stress. That last-minute panic? They've survived it before. But starting early feels unfamiliar, and unfamiliar feels risky. Weird, right? Even self-sabotage can feel comfortable when it's something you've practiced for years. There's something even deeper going on. Pain can give you an identity. When you've been struggling for a long time, pain becomes part of who you are. I'm the strong one. I'm the survivor. I'm the one who always suffers. And if the pain disappears, a scary question appears. Who are you then? Healing sounds nice, but it also means letting go of an identity you've lived in for years, and that can be terrifying. Here's something important to remember. Feeling comfortable in pain doesn't mean you like pain. It means your brain learned how to survive in it. That's not weakness, that's adaptation. But survival mode was never meant to be permanent. Here's a small reality check. Comfort doesn't always mean good, and discomfort doesn't always mean bad. Going to the gym hurts, but it makes you stronger. Saving money feels boring, but it gives freedom. Setting boundaries feels awkward, but it gives peace. Growth often feels uncomfortable at first because your brain hasn't labeled it as safe yet. So how do you stop mistaking pain for comfort? You don't fight your brain. You gently teach it new safety. You start small. You choose a little discomfort today so tomorrow doesn't look exactly like yesterday. You remind yourself, this feels scary because it's new, not because it's wrong. And most importantly, you stop romanticizing suffering. Pain is not proof of depth. Struggle is not a personality. And peace is not boring. It's just unfamiliar. Let me end with this. If you've been feeling stuck, if you keep going back to the same situations, the same people, the same patterns, ask yourself one honest question. Am I choosing this because it's good for me or because it's familiar? Sometimes the most uncomfortable step is the one that finally leads you home, not to pain, but to peace. And that's a comfort worth learning.